You even did the fade out. That's amazing.
Yep.
That's very professional.
High tech.
Yeah.
High tech over here.
That's
well, welcome back to the Midwest Sports Show.
It's cold there. That's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
And yeah,
I know.
It's cold in the Midwest.
Yesterday it was 75. Today it was like 70. That was tough though. Wouldn't you want to try? I think in Chicago on Wednesday, maybe one of their coldest days ever, where I think the high is only going to be -3, and then it's going to get. It could be one of the coldest days in the history of Chicago. Wouldn't you try to battle that? See how you do.
Well, make sure you're covered up.
Yeah,
and
but I think
indoor,
that's part of the challenge. I think that's kind of romantic or whatever.
Well, there's a huge Arctic blast. I saw the map.
That's a tough
of
one.
the big purple Arctic cloud.
Right.
Coming down.
Yeah.
On you, and yeah. So looks kind of nasty.
This is the week people like to live in California.
Yeah, it was like 75, I think.
Yeah.
Earlier today. Actually, I had to take off my jeans because it was
oh my god,
too hot.
I'm still wearing shorts.
All right. Well, Gene, this is the Midwest Sports Show.
Okay, but the point is we have much empathy or sympathy, both, for people who have to deal with that.
Yeah,
I do.
We do.
Yeah.
Tons of empathy.
Yeah.
Tons and tons. So that's well, so much empathy we moved.
Yeah.
We got out of there.
I left 33 years.
And let me just say, let me just look directly into the camera and say
is this a message to the public?
All the people in the Midwest that are looking right now or watching and listening right now.
Our friend Al, who lives in my hometown of Dubuque.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dubuque, which we miss. It's very cold there, but for the people who live in Dubuque, such as Al, I say, fight on. You can make it through winter. There's only 5 or 6 more months left, and you'll be okay.
Well, let me just say it to all the people watching and listening at home in the Midwest, freezing your ass off.
Yeah.
You don't have to be there.
Oh.
Okay, you're not chained there. You're not stuck there.
We have too much traffic.
You guys can leave. Okay.
Go where?
Just like we left.
Yeah, but
you don't have. Every time I come back to the Midwest, I'm like, man, why do people live here?
Wait till we build more subways, so you don't have to.
Yeah, come back in 2023.
Right.
When you go to La Cienega.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To the subway.
It takes our subway system's kind of. We're trying to catch up. I used the subway Saturday. I went to the 80s. They do the 80s weekend, and I saw the Bangles.
Oh yeah.
It was so good. Remember them?
Yeah, a little
Walk
bit.
Like Egyptian.
Yeah.
And then they had like 10 different groups. Bananarama, the 2 women. It's a cool song. They had like 10 different groups, and they put them on a revolving stage, and they did all their 1 or 2 hits from their 80s reign. And now they're just older and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how many Bengals are left? Bengals?
Yeah.
How many?
There three original members, I think.
Okay. So there's
4 girls.
And there's 4 now?
Yeah.
So why did they add an extra one to?
Oh no, there was always 4. I think they lost one along the line.
Oh okay. And there's 3 now.
No, there's 4. They replaced.
Oh, they replaced her.
Yeah.
Oh, is she like younger or is she like the same
Hoffs,
age?
who's the star? She was the dream girl of the 80s. She's 60 years old. But she still looks great.
Is the new girl 60 years old as well, or is she like 20?
No, they're all.
That'd be a good move, right?
They're all about
the Bengals,
60.
and you got
3
old ladies and 1 hot 20-year-old.
Yeah, it's a Manic Monday. That was like 82 or something.
Yeah. All right. Well.
OMD, you know them? Those guys were huge in the 80s.
Old Mafia.
There's some white guys.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's the Midwest Sports. So my name is Chris Stotts. We should do the names at some point. And then that's Gene Steichen.
Hello.
As well. And Gene, you sound like you, I don't know, maybe you cheered a little bit too much at the Bengals?
Cheered. It was so great to see them. I saw the Go-Go's last year. Now I saw the Bengals. 2 huge, and they're 2 women's groups, girls groups, female. Yeah. And they're both, it's great to see them both.
I thought it was, well, Gene, wasn't there a male patriarchy back in the 80s? I didn't think women had any opportunity.
These 2 were 2 of my favorites.
Well, now thank God we were living in such a woke time where these bands can finally tour and make money. I guess, right?
Oh my gosh, they were huge. So they were huge.
I love it when people are like, "Yeah, it's okay."
The Go-Go's and the Go-Go's and the Bengals were 2 of the biggest groups of their 80s. They were. I mean, they had.
Well, the early 80s. Let's be fair, right?
Yeah.
By 87, I mean, I think it was
when they started to wind down a little bit.
wind down.
But now nostalgic.
I believe it's called Tail End.
Yeah.
Because the graph is tailed.
Oh, okay. And so they do these 80s shows where they put a bunch of groups together. So the next one's in July with Tone Loc and the Motels, a bunch of groups from the 80s.
They're digging deep.
Yeah, one guy sang the theme song from Pretty in Pink. It was his hit song.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it was so great. I love it.
It's funny, I've never heard of any of these bands, Gene. You're probably a little bit more familiar with them because you're a little bit.
I don't remember. I remember the song.
But yeah, I would probably remember every one of these. I probably know every one of these songs.
Oh, you
would,
for sure.
And I was like, what?
Yeah,
they did that song?
Yeah.
When is Huey Lewis in the News?
He's
going to be on, or is he too big for this crap?
No, he's too big, but he had to retire because his hearing's kind of.
Is he still with the News? What's up with the News?
I saw him last year. He toured with.
It's one guy.
Jimmy Buffett.
The News isn't like a band.
It's a band, but yeah, I don't think it's just whoever gets to back him up. He's kind of retired.
Okay.
I think Billy Idol's about ready to
he's only
join the group.
Huey Lewis in the News. He only has to do Jimmy Kimmel gigs for the rest of his life.
Well,
I
saw him last year at Wrigley Field, but his hearing's gone on him. Those rockers.
Well, you should call games like Harry Carey in that case, right?
And Richard Blade, who is a huge DJ of the 80s, he hosts it. I don't know.
Nice thing about the internet, Gene, is we can see our viewers drop in real time. Talking about old 80s bands.
No, it's great.
But no, this is not 80s Band Remembrance Day, the podcast. This is the Midwest Sports Show, and we're going to talk about the Midwest sports scene. And for all you folks that are in the winter vortex, bundled up,
that's
shoveling,
a vortex.
I guess there's a lot of snow. Huh?
Yeah, they had snow, and now it's turning to just brutal cold.
This
is one of the hardest weeks that anybody will ever face back there. So
yeah, well, until next year because of global warming. So,
oh my God.
But it's not global warming; it's climate change. So crazy.
Global warming doesn't mean it gets warmer, right?
Yeah, it has crazy weather. That's why we have all these hurricanes and these crazy snowstorms. But I mean, there are crazy snowstorms every now and again. But all right, Gene.
Okay.
We're going to have with the Midwest sports scene, and not a lot going on now that we don't have football off. I mean, I guess we could talk about the Pro Bowl.
I didn't watch.
Did you watch?
No, I went to
one frame of the Pro Bowl.
I went to a music tribute show honoring Martin Luther King of all things.
Oh. Well, Gene, were the Bears playing? That seems like something you do when the Bears are playing.
I know, and it wasn't even on MLK. It was a week after MLK Day. But I went.
Well, they
that.
did.
I
guess they went to someplace who paid more on MLK Day. I guess Birmingham, maybe.
I went to the Richard and Karen Carpenter, two great icons of the '70s.
Oh, really? That's what the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah, they're kind of in that. Yeah, they were huge. The Carpenters.
Well, one of them was huge, right?
Well,
Karen Carpenter.
But
she was huge.
Richard wrote the music. Music.
And
died, but he's still alive.
One of them fucked their kid.
Oh,
right,
no,
all the time, right?
So.
One of them
I
was it one of the Mamas and the Papas, like constantly having incest with her dad?
I hope not.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
He's dead now, though, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Why are we bring this?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were talking sports.
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, we are going to talk about Midwest sports and the Pro Bowl. Oh no, that's.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl. I guess they had crazy stuff going on, like Ezekiel Elliott and other people like rushing the quarterback and all this stuff.
Defense.
It kind of actually made me kind of wish I kind of would have watched it. But I mean, that just sounds like a football game at the parking lot, though, right?
Yeah.
They should just make it like flag football and just try it out.
I know, because it's too dangerous. Two guys actually got it.
Yeah, and no one's even trying. They should let's just make contact with the quarterback in the Pro Bowl illegal. All right, 15 yards.
That it's almost the season's almost over, and I'm really sad that it has to involve the Patriots and the Rams.
Yep. So we will talk about we'll have a Super Bowl preview, Gene.
Okay.
You got all your big takes on the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't. The Patriots.
We're gonna analyze.
I don't really care for the Rams.
We're gonna analyze the offense of the Patriots and how it's gonna fare against the LA Rams defense and their defensive schemes, and how the bum Phillips.
Oh.
No, we're not gonna do any of that stuff.
But Wade put on his jacket. Did you see that?
No, I saw that. All right, Gene, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Super Bowl 58 preview will be at the end of the show. But Gene, we're gonna start at the top of the list. I think the most shocking story of the week, the most important story of the week.
Oh, wow!
And that is
that's
the stadium
That's
that the
terrible.
Milwaukee Brewers play in 19. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
2019. Will no longer be called Miller Park.
That's almost a crime. That's Wrigley Field changing it to.
Gene, I gasp.
Well, I did too.
I gasp. Well, okay. First of all, Wrigley Field. Do they pay the Cubs like money?
No,
Yeah,
I don't even
that's
think
just
Wrigley's a thing anymore.
right. Yeah, they make gum, right? Isn't Double Spearmint gum around?
I guess they're still around. They
Right.
used to own the Cubs, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they actually pay naming rights, right?
No,
and isn't it like whatever? So yeah, Miller Park no longer.
What? That's crazy.
It's going to be replaced with another local icon.
What? Oh, bratwurst.
Hold on, let me pull up my my notes. I'm totally freewheeling the show.
Okay, Marge Cheese Castle Park or the Bratstop Park.
Well, Gene, you're close. It is a German icon of the
okay.
late 1800s. American Family Insurance.
What?
American Family Insurance Park, Gene. Because remember all the stories in the 1880s about all the German claim adjusters?
Oh, no.
Because, you know, Milwaukee was settled by claim adjusters, Gene.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't know that.
Those gray those beige bricks, Cream City bricks, built on claim adjusting, Gene.
How could they let this happen? I mean, I don't know. How much can they be paying them? No more than a couple million a year,
a couple bucks?
Well, I mean, not.
Gene,
this is an outrage.
I have some theories here. I got a couple theories. First of all, Miller doesn't even exist anymore. It's right. It's owned. It's co-owned. I mean, it merged with Coors and didn't it merge with Budweiser now too? Aren't they all owned by some South American like Ambev or some shit like that?
Yeah.
I don't think Miller even exists anymore.
Okay, I'm not sure about that.
All right, so number two. Yeah. That's number one.
Right.
Let's not all get all misty-eyed for some South American beer company.
Okay.
Let's not let's not get nostalgic. Baby ate my dildo. Or no, Dingo ate my baby. Yeah, baby ate my dildo. What was that from? What movie was that from? That was from another movie. No, but that's Australia. That's not.
You shouldn't be watching those kind of movies.
It's not from South Africa. Yeah. That's Australia.
Right.
So number one, number two. This is my theory. I think Miller, whoever takes care of Miller these days, the brand name, I think they lowballed.
Wow.
The Brewers.
Yeah.
You talk about high fastball.
Right.
How about a low ball?
Yes.
How about a low ball?
I mean, how much can they be paying?
Well, I think they're like, hey, it's the Milwaukee Brewers. It's Milwaukee. Well, they're not going to change the name from Miller Park. Well, we can, only offer them a couple extra bucks.
Oh my God.
And I think from Milwaukee, the Brewers' perspective, I think they're a premier. I think they're going to be looking at they're a premier team next year.
Of course.
I mean, I think they're going to be in a lot of primetime games next year.
Yeah, for sure.
With Yelich and the team and everything like that. So I think they're like, hey, Miller. They might have worked in 1992.
Okay.
But times have changed. We got a good team. We got a great roster. We got the MVP on our team. Pay up.
Wow.
And then I think Miller balked. Because, again, I think the people running Miller are these South African douchebags who don't even understand the name Miller when it comes to Milwaukee. And I think they said, all right, we'll walk. And I think the Brewers made a business decision. And, hey, when you're running a business, that's what you got to do. You can't,
Wow.
But nostalgia can't pay the bills, Gene.
Yeah, all right. I don't like it.
Christian Yelich is not going to take nostalgia on a weekly game check.
What is it called? American Family Insurance?
Family Insurance. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what is
that? America Family Insurance Park. I mean, it's garbage.
Who is it?
Well, how about this? How about PBR Park? How about that?
Yeah, now that I could get behind.
Pabst Blue Ribbon Park, huh?
Schlitz Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, Schlitz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ham Field.
Oh my gosh.
Goes on and on.
Why? Yeah. Oh, this is.
I mean, let's do.
What Bernie the Brewer is supposed to do?
Yeah. He's a clamp adjuster, Gene. He's signing up people for insurance. Perny the clamp adjuster. He has a suit and a notepad.
When they hit a home run, is he gonna?
He's gonna adjust. He's gonna evaluate the cost of the windows.
He's gonna slide into a burning house and give them their adjustment fees.
Yeah, no. He's gonna take away medical. operations from people who need it.
I think it's a sad day, but all right.
Well, Gene, is nothing sacred? That's my point.
I know. How about Johnsonville, because they got all the wiener and the bratwurst, all those guys.
Yeah, about the Johnsonville Bratwurst Center. How about that?
That would be great. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they did whatever they could do, but again, right. I mean, they're going to be a premier franchise next year, and I think I think we're talking about like something 50, probably $100 million difference. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe it was 25. Maybe it was 10. Right. Maybe it was 5. Who knows? Mm-hmm. By the way, do you think the Packers are ever like, man, we're losing out on like $50 million a year because we don't sell the name?
Yeah, there's certain Soldier Field, which the Bears don't own the stadium.
Yeah, right. But they do have, Bank of America presents Soldier Field, though, right? Do they still have that?
No, there's nothing in front of that.
They did, though, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
But I'll correct you. I don't think so. Right. Wrigley Field, I think, was Fenway Park. Who knows? Yeah.
But now it's like sicko.
Dodger Stadium, the same thing.
Yeah, still Dodger Stadium, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, Gene, let's talk about something a little bit more pleasant.
That was sad. That's upsetting.
Pretty bad. We could do a whole show on just that.
Right.
Let's do something more pleasant like Jimmy Haslam and the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, he's a man. He's got those Flying J's truck stops. I boycotted those.
Those pit stops?
Yeah, you can drive out in the desert. You'll see them. And I think I'm going to pass on those now till he cleans up his act.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're missing you. Okay. I don't think he owns them anymore. I think he has some. Anyways, ESPN had a fairly in-depth story, which I actually read this afternoon, and a lot of interesting, really quick details. Yeah, because I wrote about this last week.
Okay.
After the show, and then I totally forgot what it was about, so I had to review it.
Oh, okay.
A couple of very interesting stories. Here we go. I have some of the highlights. Now, again, this is Jimmy Haslam, the new owner of the Browns from, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He fired Mark Holmgren when he got in as the GM, which I cannot blame him for that. But, strike one, I guess, right? When he drafted Johnny Manziel, a couple of years ago, he brought a bunch of people into the draft room for a party.
Right.
And that does normally happen, but not when they're actually picking and making trades and all this stuff. So some of the scouts did not appreciate that. And a lot of people did not want Manziel. And a lot of people actually wanted Teddy Bridgewater. But apparently Haslam did not want Teddy Bridgewater because he didn't like the way he shook his hand.
Wow. Oh, yeah. That's not good.
Didn't like the way he shook his hand.
Yeah.
Remember, Gene, remember Vince Lombardi?
Yes.
Talking about Brett Starr's handshake?
Bart Starr's?
Bart Starr?
Yeah.
Brett Starr? Jesus Christ. What's wrong with me?
I read his book, Vince.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called,
the whole chapter about Bart Starr's handshake.
Right.
How important it was for a leader
to
have a handshake.
Yeah.
Which I actually agree with. But, Gene, how much you want to bet Teddy, being a young black man, probably slapped his wrist, or I don't know, probably slapped his hand or something, did something kind of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
I guess Jimmy Haslam's not watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I guess.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Jimmy seems to have a problem with black people because, I don't want to say an issue, problem, but he's got issues, I guess. His GM, whose name was actually Brown, not the Browns, but Brown. He's black. He's from Harvard. So Jimmy would call him Obama around the office because I guess that was the only black person he knew from Harvard. So,
wow. This is not painting a good picture of Jimmy Haslam.
Regarding hiring Hugh Jackson, the lone holdout was Haslam, who reportedly preferred Jackson because he thought he could, quote unquote, relate better to the players.
Oh my gosh.
And held firm despite pleas from Brown and Chief Strategy Officer Paul DePessa to consider Haslam hire Jackson, who reported directly to the owners and butted heads with Brown's department before Brown was let go in late 2017. Wow. A couple of other points. I know we're spending too much time on the Browns here, but at one point, they projected tweets on a projector on the wall of the Browns facility so they could see the dog pound responding to the team. The only problem is that they focused on hashtags that were pound DP. Hashtag DP, which, yes, probably stands for dog pound.
Right.
Also, a little known phrase as a double penetration.
Oh wow! You're
And
all over the place.
let's just say that most of the tweets were not about the defense. Okay.
I see. Yeah.
Not about Mike Pettin. Okay.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about. I just have to be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
I've
never been part of anything you're talking about.
Okay. Okay. So here's a couple notes. I know you would appreciate this. Hugh Jackson. So they're talking about the last draft and all this stuff and Baker Mayfield and all this stuff. Hugh Jackson wanted to pick Myles Garrett, and he wasn't kidding when he later vowed to Haslam that he wouldn't support Trubisky because they're talking about drafting Trubisky publicly or privately. Wow. So, Gene, I don't know. Does that make you feel good or bad that Hugh Jackson did not want anything to do with Mitch Trubisky?
That makes me feel good.
You're good?
I have whatever Hugh Jackson. He doesn't even have a job anymore, does he? I know Cincinnati. I think they just let him go.
Marvin Lewis, I think, is just feeding him table scraps on the back door.
No, but he's gone. They're all gone from there.
Yeah. And then Haslam's wife, she's reported saying if we'd known how hard it would be, we never would have bought the team. That's something you want to hear from your owner, right? The owner's wife.
Those poor people. Cleveland has such great fans, and it is a wonderful city, and then they have to put up with this guy. They have Dan Gilbert on top of them.
Yeah, they should just they should just follow the Packers model and just make the Browns a publicly funded team.
Boy, between him and Dan Gilbert, they're struggling. They're struggling.
Yeah, Cleveland. What did Cleveland do to deserve? I mean, it's corrupt, right? Isn't the city corrupt? It's got to be the mob, right?
I don't know if the mob. Well, maybe back in the okay, let's go with the mob.
Every city has a version of the mob.
They have Lake Erie, so maybe don't they have Lake Erie?
Yeah. Well, if it's not on fire. I mean,
okay.
You can see Lake Erie because it's on fire on the horizon. Right. All right. So, Gene, we got some Bears news. Just because it's off season doesn't mean the Bears sleep.
Trubisky had a kind of a rough Pro Bowl, but other than that, I don't know.
Did he? I
don't know. He threw an interception.
Yeah, okay.
Who knows? He might have thrown it to,
So they're only playing defense when he was throwing the ball. So. Okay. All right. Well, there's talk of the Bears acquiring Kareem Hunt.
Yes, I guess they're not alone, so that might be a tough one.
Well, Gene.
Yes.
I mean, I know these football guys. Yeah. It's a football dominated world, and all they care about is winning, and getting the best players and all this other stuff. It's just distraction. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's just the way football is, and especially the Bears. I mean, you can't knock the Bears for wanting the best player, right?
I guess not.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, Gene, it's too bad.
Yeah.
That a woman. Owns the team.
Virginia, yeah.
So, you think she may have some qualms.
Yeah.
Gene, I actually have a quote from George McCaskey. McCaskey, whatever.
That's
her brother.
Yeah.
Her son, right? Her son?
Yep.
When asked about this, Chairman George McCaskey tapped the brakes. McCaskey agrees with General Ryan Pace that the Bears aren't there yet. Ryan said, "We're not there yet. I think that's the best way to put it." McCaskey told Rachel Campbell, the Chicago Tribune, on Thursday. He's not eligible right now. He may not become eligible for quite some time.
Yeah, there you go.
But if he was eligible, okie dokie, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard because the Cubs re-signed Addison Russell, so I don't know.
So what are they going to be like? You think we're bad? Look at the Cubs.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say?
Yeah, oh boy. I don't know. I'm torn on all this stuff. I don't like. I was a juror on a domestic abuse case, and I sent the guy up the river.
Yeah,
I helped send the guy up the river.
Well, they have Tarek Cohen, right? Why do they need a running
Cohen? I don't know, because he's so small. I don't know. I'll let.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt is pretty good. He is good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let them decide, and I'll try to support.
And the kicking, I think they actually did sign a kicker today, but
there's going to be more.
The Bears' attempts to replace kicker Cody Parker officially are underway.
Yeah,
Chicago is scheduled to work out former Jets kicker Nick Folks today, per source. That was a couple days ago.
Yeah, he didn't make it to the next round. Blair Walsh didn't make it.
How old is Nick Folk, for God's sakes? I mean, he played with... Good Lord.
They brought in 7 guys. Blair Walsh was one of them. He didn't make it to the next round.
Who was the quarterback for the Jets? Chandler? There's a guy named Chandler. He played during that time, right? Nick Folks, didn't he play?
I don't. Yeah, probably a long time ago.
Well, Gene, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You know, if the Bears are looking for a kicker,
yeah,
why don't you bring in Kareem Hunt?
Oh my.
He likes king stuff.
That was a damn. If you haven't the video, that's what put it over there. That's what really sealed the deal.
That cake would have been good 75 yards. Jim.
Oh man, he kicked. You can't.
Just put some earrings and some makeup on the ball.
Yeah.
Put maybe a little bit purse around it. He'll kick the shit out of that thing.
Okay, I'm out on Kareem Hunt. I just want that officially known. I want no part of him. Until I.
All right, Gene. This whole show was just to set up that joke, by the way.
Oh.
All right.
What about your double penetration thing?
It wasn't bad. All right, Gene. And then here we go. The bear. That's the bear. That's all the bears.
Yeah,
is, so.
yeah.
All right, and then Gene, our favorite, Brett Bulimia. Bulimia is the name. Bulimia.
Brett Bulimia.
I wish I had bulimia.
But have you
Talk
seen
this guy.
him? He's big. He does a lot of emotional eating. I am.
If anyone could use some bulimia, it's him.
He wasn't that big when he was at Wisconsin.
Well, he was the coach of Wisconsin,
and
it took him to what? Only one Rose Bowl?
He was good at Wisconsin though. They loved him, and he left him for Arkansas.
Well, even before a bowl game. They were going to play like in some sort of like, I don't know, some shitty bowl or whatever. Yeah, and they were no, it was the Rose Bowl, right? And then Barry Alvarez.
Oh yeah, then Barry coached. You're right.
Was it the Rose Bowl?
Yeah,
it was a fair. It wasn't like the Holiday Inn Bowl or anything.
No,
like that.
it was the Rose Bowl.
So I went to Arkansas, sucked at Arkansas. I didn't really do shit. I mean, not that Arkansas is a great football team, but
passionate.
Yeah, but now report that he's expects to be the next Patriots defensive coordinator.
That's shocking. What is his connection?
Gene, if Brett Bulimia gets a Super Bowl ring,
right?
Before I don't even know who, Scott Tolzien.
Okay.
I'm gonna go have to. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be issues. There's gonna be trouble, Jim.
Right. Wow.
All right.
I'm shocked.
The guy, what? You suck everywhere and you turn your back on a team and then you get a Super Bowl ring. I mean it's gonna be next year, right? But they're gonna win another Super Bowl sometime.
This whole story is very shocking.
Yeah, not good. Is that a Belichick guy?
I guess I didn't know they were
Belichick guy,
but they must be somehow.
Yeah. All right, and then I guess the Super Bowl is next week. I mean, do you have any big plans? Are you going to the Super Bowl party?
I couldn't. This is the one that I really don't. This probably Super Bowl I care about least out of any I've seen in a long time, because I don't really want either team to win. If it's possible, if they both could lose.
Well, Gene, I know the guy down the street.
Yeah.
He's really excited because he put a Rams flag over his balcony.
Wow.
Well, he just got that. I wonder where he got that at the other day.
How many Rams fans are in L.A.?
Gene, I swear to God, I walked by a bunch of day laborers and they were talking about the Rams. Right. And I'm just like, don't these people like realize they never talk about the Rams before in their life, never gave a fuck about the Rams, and they're in the Super Bowl and how ridiculous it is?
Yeah.
For them to be all in. I mean, there were Cowboy fans 2 years ago, right? I mean, what team did you like 3 years ago? The Raiders? You like the Raiders or the Rams?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm disturbed by this whole thing.
Yeah. So it's like wait, by the way, Gene.
Yeah.
What if there's riots?
Oh.
The Lakers won in the 90s?
I'll tell you one thing.
In the aughts?
There's not going to be enough people to have a parade, which we don't need anyway. They'll probably have a small gathering.
Well, Gene, you were here, right, when the Lakers won a championship, when there were riots? Was it like, I mean, that was nowhere near like Hollywood or anything, right?
Detroit. Yeah, I think it was around this. Oh, I don't even know if they played at I don't know where. Yeah, it's Staples Center. I think it was downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously it didn't affect you.
Well, I hope the commercials are good. I saw one where Jeff Bridges reprises his character from.
I kept on seeing tweets about that. I thought they were announcing a Big Lebowski sequel, and I was like,
I saw the commercial. They showed it. Darren Ravel showed it. He does his Big Lebowski character.
Gene, do you think anyone under 35 years old is going to get that reference?
I don't know, but it's great. I hope all the commercials are like that. Probably not. Big Lebowski.
Gene. We were definitely Gene. Last year there was a ton of like old actors praising their roles, right, and all this stuff.
But this is gonna be good. If the commercials aren't good, then I'm lost. I don't even know if I care if the game's close or blowout either. I don't care.
All right, make a prediction. What do we got?
Oh, okay. Rams are gonna win, maybe. How's that?
There you go.
I'll take the Rams.
I'm gonna say Patriots 33-30.
Okay.
How about that? It's Patriots gonna.
Okay, I'll go really.
Patriots gonna figure out how to win.
Rams 45-41. Just do something crazy.
All right, it'll be a high scoring game.
Win on a Hail Mary. Yeah.
Won't be Tom Brady.
Yes, that's right.
Doing that. All right. Well, enjoy the Super Bowl, everyone. I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week, even though it's not Midwest, but we'll talk about it. So, and
the Rams used to be in St. Louis, so that's close
there you go.
enough. Hey, just everyone get through the week. All you have to do is get through this week, and then only 3.5 more months of winter, and you'll be home. You'll be home free.
4, 5, 6.5 months.
February, March, April. Well, last year I was there. Last year it snowed 3 times in April in Chicago, so no guarantees.
Yep. Let's cover up. Watch out for that frostbite. Let the car warm up. Right.
There you go.
All right. So I think I can actually get the music to play on the out again as well. So give me 2 seconds to load that up.
How about that?
And all right. So for Gene Steichen.
Hello. Goodbye.
Where is it? My name is Chris Stotts. It's my name is Chris Stotts. It's been the Midwest Sports Show.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks for listening. There you go.
That's so cool.
All right, kind of fade it out. All right, so we'll so I should play that while I'm saying this out. All right, so we'll see you guys next week.
That's great.